Hey folks, Dan Frio here, your morning market update for February 23rd, 2021. The recap of what I'm going to go over here in a second. Stock market down, cryptocurrencies down big. The blockchains and the things that we follow through the cryptocurrencies down big. Mortgage rates up big. The bright spot in all this, I got some ideas for you on what I'm going to be investing in next, so don't go away. Okay, so what's going on? Every time I go to Florida, the markets just go to hell in a handbasket. And so what we saw the last 2 days is the stock market, especially the NASDAQ, really dropping. Cryptocurrencies, we're in another one of these waves where it's freaking out people, but I got some insight on that. But I do have a direction on that I want to tell you of my thoughts where I'm going to move some of my investments in. I'm going to start taking some of these profits. And I had yesterday a decent amount of my stop losses kick in and get me out of positions. So let me explain what a stop loss is, and then we'll go forward. Stop loss is just as this. You buy a stock. Hopefully as that stock moves up, you could put in sell positions to give yourself some triggers. So if it hits a certain number, it kicks out. Let me make sense of this. So let's say you buy a XYZ company and you bought it at $10 and it ran. Let's just say it ran out the charts and now it's $20. So you've doubled your money. You might go in and say, well, how do I protect myself in the event that drops? I have a full-time job. I don't watch this every minute. The markets are fluctuating. I'm going away on vacation. What can I do? Well, you go in there and you put in a stop loss. And basically it'll say, okay, I want to sell XYZ company. I bought it at 10. Now it's at 20. I'm happy with a 50% return. So I'm going to move my position up to say, if that stock hits $15, it declines from 20 and it goes down. If it goes to 16, it rides back up or whatever. But when it goes to $15, it hits $15.00, it's automatically going to put in a trigger to sell my stock. So you protected your position and you protected your profits. So you don't come back from vacation of 2 weeks. You went to Europe spending all this money because you were way up. You get back and now that stock is down to $3 and you lost all your profits. And you also dug into your initial investment. So that's what I usually do, and that's what I did in this case. And I got a whole bunch of triggers yesterday saying that stock sold, this stock sold, that stock sold. That's how I knew the market was crashing. So let's get on to it and see what's going on today. I think Federal Chairman Powell he's the Federal Reserve Chairman. He's speaking as we speak. And hopefully he eases the markets, because I told you guys the market is overbought in situations. I was leveraging a lot of my assets into cryptocurrencies and such. I'm still way up. So we've had a pullback, but it is volatile. I keep telling you guys, dollar cost average. Get in there, each week with a set amount of money, so you're buying on the ups and downs. And so over time, you have an average price. You didn't buy at the top and then get crushed. That's what we're trying to avoid. So let's get on to what's going on in the markets. Again, what my channel goes over is, I call it scrub. I initially called it scrub. It was stocks, crypto, real estate, and bonds. So let's get on what the markets are doing right now and then some of my thoughts. Stocks sink, NASDAQ down 2%. I think the whole issue with the stock market, people are saying, everything is overbought, meaning everything is expensive. So a lot of people are jumping in now and taking their profits. That's basically what it is, because earnings for companies keep coming in fairly well, but you can see down through here, like for example, I thought this was Bitcoin at first, and I'm like, oh man, down 36%. That wouldn't surprise me, because I even think it might have even went down even worse. But it says bank profits fell 36.5%. Well, don't feel bad for the banks, because they're still registering record, I won't say record, but a ton of cash. A ton. Okay. Again, you have multiples on these stocks that are high. And I went through that saying, prices are high. We see the NASDAQ, it's down again another 230 points. The Dow down 150. I think people are getting really squeamish and they're saying, I just want to protect the profits that I have in the companies that I bought, and I'm selling. And then you have people such as myself that put stop losses on, that also adds to that selling pressure. So when you have more sellers than buyers, the price is going to go down. So that's what's going on through here. You can also see, let's get to some of the other headlines. Home prices growth surges at fastest pace in 8 years. Okay, well, they are going like gangbusters, and then you might say, Dan, is there a housing bubble? And there is going to be a housing crash. I got a video coming out. It's either tomorrow or Thursday. I'm having a videographer do that for me, and I talked to a realtor about what his thoughts are in that area as well as mine, and we give you some data to kind of back those things up. So I'm not predicting a housing crash. Will things flatten out? Well, when rates start to move up, you're still going to have some people backing out of not buying a home, but there's still there's pent-up demand for buying a home, okay? And there's not enough supply. So if you want to sell your house, you can probably sell it in a week. If you get into a position where you can't afford your house anymore, you can probably sell it really fast and make some money. But again, you got to think about it. You still have to live somewhere. How are rents going? Rents are going up at a pace 3, 4, 5, 8% a year. So is this adjustment in mortgage rates really going to hinder you from buying a property? Probably not. Digital currencies, they're getting completely clobbered right now. But again, most people, if they're average dollar cost averaging, meaning they're getting in on a weekly basis, you're still up money. I'll try to find some charts on that going forward. So this is Yahoo Finance. Let's go to CNBC. Federal Chairman Powell is speaking as we speak. The mandate for the Federal Reserve basically is to keep inflation in check and keep the economy at optimum employment. That's what the Federal Reserve is basically, their mandates are. Those are the two mandates that they have. The good news is he came out and said that inflation remains well below the Federal Reserve targets or goals. What's spooking the market right now is the 10-year or the Treasury yields. And let's get to the Treasuries for a second. I'm not trying to go off of course, but let me show you what's going on with the Treasuries. These have spiked very recently. This number was 0.4 about 6 months ago. So you can see it's basically tripled. The mortgage-backed security market continues to plummet. Somebody mentioned saying, Dan, you said this and this is completely different than what you stated last week. Guys, I know. And when I'm wrong, I'll tell you immediately I'm wrong and what my reevaluation is. If a company comes out with earnings that you were expecting X and they come out with, let's say I was expecting a company to come out with robust earnings and they came back and said they had a loss, and that threw everybody for a loop. You can't stay with that position. You have to change your positioning or your thinking on that. I still think this is completely oversold. Eventually, we're going to come back. But if you look at where we were a year ago when the pandemic hit, we were all the way down here. Okay? Let me go over this real quick, and I know I'm going all over the map, but I want to concentrate on this as well. This is what's going on with the mortgage market. This chart here represents what's going on with the price of a mortgage-backed security. That is the component that controls or dictates mortgage rates. When the price goes down, rates are going up. Okay? This is the price, not the yield. So there's an inverse relationship. Price goes down, rates go up. Okay, that's how it works. We are still well below where we were last year. So what does this mean? Well, rates are a lot lower, probably on the tune of about 1%, probably closer to 75 basis points or 0.75% lower than where we were last year. So rates are still very, very good. They're basically where we were last June, okay? And then we went through all this, this stuff. And what's happening is the Federal Reserve is printing money and the government is printing money. Well, the government's printing money and just sending it out as stimulus. We're going to have probably a total of about $5 trillion in stimulus. Well, how do they do that? How do they send out that money? Well, they print money and then sell U.S. Treasuries to fund it. Okay, so that's what's going on. So when you have that much supply of money going into the system, you have an oversupply of something, it's going to drive prices down and higher yields. Okay, so that's basically what's going on all over here. The stock market, as treasuries and bond rates go up, it entices people to get into bonds as a non-riskier play than the stock market. So you're going to see even more and more people piling into this till there's an equilibrium and this all steadies out. I think this is an overreaction, and my assumptions and all my studies are saying this is an overreaction as well. So stay tuned. I will let you know as I gather information and watch these charts. Okay, so they're saying the Federal Reserve, the man himself is coming out and saying inflation is below the Federal Reserve goals. Unfortunately, employment is the same. Well, I hate to say it, but if you keep giving people money to stay at home and not work, you're not going to have employment back. And they've already increased or expanded the unemployment benefits all the way through September. Now, I get it. If you're in a very bad situation, you're out of a job, you have a family, you have a house, and you're struggling. I don't mean to disrespect you, but there's a lot of people, even people that I know, they're like, you know what, I'm just going to continue to take unemployment because it's more money than I was making. I get it. Okay, so the top trending news is the House is set to pass the Biden relief bill. So that is the stimulus package. Let's scroll down to, I'm not going to go over that. Powell says inflation is still soft and the Fed is committed to current policies, meaning they have no plans on raising rates anytime soon. The NASDAQ is plummeting. And Tesla drops 13% on negative news. And this Tesla is just kind of like, it trades kind of like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. It's up and down and up and down. Okay, so that's what's going on with the stock market. At the end of this, I'm going to conclude and tell you what I'm adding positions to. So let's go what's going on with cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, it is down 10% in the last 24 hours. Okay, however, it's only down 0.87% in the past week. Ethereum, it's another position I have. It's 8.72% down today and 10% down for the week. However, Bitcoin, this number here, this was in the 50s. It was in the mid to high 50s last week. So it's dropped 10,000, about 10,000 a coin. That's a pretty substantial drop. Ethereum is usually trading around, I got into the Ethereum position right around $600. So I'm still up threefold on my money, basically. I got into Bitcoin at $22, so I'm still doubled my money plus. Binance is starting to come back, but it is up 80% for the week. So you go down through here, you have to take everything in perspective. You know, Bitcoin Cash, I don't know if you can see it down here. I'll try to scroll it up. I dollar cost average on all of these, but it's down 26% during the week. I'm still up, pretty sizable positions, or I have a good return on my Bitcoin Cash and my Litecoin. So I currently have Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. So those are mine. Just so you guys know, I am not a mortgage, I'm a mortgage guy. I'm not a wealth planner or financial planner. I don't get paid. I don't charge commissions. I don't trade for you. I don't give you advice. I'm just telling you what I do. So basically think of this channel as educational and entertainment purposes only. That's it. I'm showing you what I do, trying to teach you guys techniques and terminology and so forth to help you be a better investor. Let's get on to it. Sorry, I got the sniffles today. Let's go over the stock watch list that we watch. And you can notice a pattern. Right before I left last week, it was a similar pattern. These things are getting clobbered. Everything is red except Facebook. Facebook's up 1%. But if you go down through here, even the staples, Google, Amazon, Apple, down 2%, 1%. Then you get on to the cryptocurrency positions that I've been adding to my positions on. Bitcoin Trust is down 10% today. Bitcoin Cash down 10% today. Bitcoin Trust, this is kind of some of my positions and other watch list. It's down 11% today. Ethereum is down 11% today. So a lot of those plays are down 10 to 11%. Then you get into the miners and the blockchain. Hive blockchain down 20% today. But let's look at this just to put it in perspective, okay? If you go back to its chart, let's go to a 1-year chart or just a year to date. So back let's see. I don't even know how I get the chart. Let's see if I can get a 3-month thing. It was 63 cents in December. Okay, now it's at $4. So hopefully that puts it in perspective. It is up 400% in the last 3 months. So I hope you get where I'm coming from with these. So I have stop losses on some, but my stop losses I've moved them up, but I'm still up 400% because I got in most of these positions at between the third and fourth quarter of last year. Plus I'm adding to my positions gradually. Let's go to the other one, Riot. Riot is another one. It's at $50 right now, down 22% today. I'm looking as this is an opportunity to get in. Here's why. Let me tell you when I got in. Let's go to a 3-month chart. So we go back to here. It was $6 basically when I got into my position. It's $50 now. Almost 10 times my money. So you got to get in at some point. Is it too late? I'm saying no, and I'm adding to my positions in those areas. One area, so let me tell you what I'm focusing on and why. So let's think about the economy is doing this. Everybody's shut down. You can't go out to dinner. You can't go on vacations. Nobody's flying. I was at the airport yesterday, and it was kind of cool because finally I'm at O'Hare, and I'm going through the American terminal with all the flags. I was there 2-3 weeks ago. Me and my wife were basically the only ones in that hallway. Yesterday it was pretty crowded. The food court, crowded. So people are getting back into what's going on here. So what I mean is people are starting to travel. Restaurants are starting to open back up. Theme parks are opening and people are getting more confident. With the vaccine, people are even getting more confident. So what we have here is pent up people that have right now more cash in the bank than they've almost ever did. Our debt loads on normally for the average American is lower than we've been because there's excess cash. People aren't going to movies, vacations, Disneyland, vacation cruises, all this other stuff. So my thought process is like when I was explaining to you on Bitcoin, I moved down the chain. I started buying miners and blockchain producers and so forth. So when the pandemic ceases, everybody gets vaccines. Let's say it takes 2-3 months. People to get vaccines, get a little more comfortable, summer hits. Where's people going to go? Or what are they going to do? They're going to take cruises. They're going to go to Disney. Okay, they're going to start going to Vegas, restaurants, and so forth. So the most undervalued stocks that I'm seeing right now with all of my research, Disney. And it was kind of weird because I added to my position in Disney recently because my thought process is this. Maybe I got in a little too early and I bought low and it still went a little bit lower. But I talked to my nephew the other day. What's he doing next month? Going to Disney with his kids. I was down in Florida in my condo and I talked to a couple people who live there. What are they doing there? They're going to Disney. I talked to people at work. What do they plan on doing this summer? Taking their kids to Disney. Disney Plus, ESPN. I'm adding to Disney because Disney is a well-run machine. They got all kind of things going their way. They have the Disney cruises, Disney theme parks, Disney Plus. Disney Plus alone is making tons of money. They got ESPN. They have all these subsidiaries that feed into that. Their stock should do very, very, very well. Other ones that I was looking at is like cruises. That's tough, and I'm not adding to my positions there, but Royal Caribbean might be something that I look at. In Vegas, Wynn Casinos. They're a worldwide company, big in China as well. As China opens up, more and more people are going to go there. Airlines, I'm scared of airlines, but if I were to pick an airline, I'm probably picking Southwest Airlines. Why? Southwest Airline hedges their oil costs. They're one of the few that hedge out long term. Oil prices are rising, and they're rising fast and hard. So that's a position there. So my personal position, I'm adding to my Disney portfolio. So now let's get back onto what's going on to the charts. So you go down through here. I do have a position in Disney. Look, Disney is up, and I'm not saying this just because it's up today. It's up 2.5%. I think this is going to be a good play once the pandemic's over, the vaccines are out, and everything else. So now let's go to mortgages and bonds and everything else. The MBS market's getting pounded once again, down 12. We're going to probably see another 0.1 bump in mortgage rates. So that's what we're going to see here. Guys, I think the days of the twos are over. However, you can't get like, okay, well, I can't do this anymore. I can't refinance and get the lowest rates ever in history, so I'm just not going to do anything. Guys, I've already had 4 or 5 people email me today that they still have rates in the low 4s. So you can go from 4.25 to 2.99 or 3. Still a good bet. Still a good bet. So there are millions of people out there with that. Also, if you're in forbearance, you probably didn't work on refinancing your property in the last 6 months or year. Check out your rate. If your rate is over, say, 3.75, I need you to call us. Let me throw everything out the window. If you're in a forbearance, you know anybody in a forbearance, your neighbors, your family, friends, coworkers, parents, aunts, uncles, anybody's in a forbearance, please send them this video. All I want them to do is scroll to the end on how to get a hold of us. I want you to call us and get consulted. We do free consulting, and we're going to go over your specific scenario with you guys and give you a roadmap of your best options on how to get out of forbearance. Maybe forbearance is for you, and it's a perfect scenario. We'll be the first one to say, you know what, just keep it. Kick those payments down the road, and don't worry about it. Relax. Live your life. You woke up today, God bless you. It's a great day. However, if we can say, hey, we can help you add all these payments into one, lower your payment, lower your rate, plus, at least we'll give you that option, then you decide what you want to do. So that's the best. If you have a forbearance, I'm not even going to go over the guidelines. Please call us, and I'll give you all that information here in a minute. What else is here? As we watch too, U.S. Treasuries, or the 10-year Treasury right here, I was expecting it to go to 1. I honestly, I didn't. I thought that I'll be honest, I thought the Republicans were going to gain seats in the Senate, and I didn't think this huge stimulus would go through. It's going through. What does that mean? Well, it means inflation's going to go up, and let's check the dollar. The dollar is probably down today. I'm assuming it should be down today. It is up today. Whatever. Makes no sense. We're going to issue another $1.9 trillion. This should have the dollar dropping in value, but let's see where we are based on the line. We are under the line, so that is good. That's where I've been predicting. If you don't believe me, go back and watch my prior videos. But again, okay, so we're under there. So let me conclude at this. Guys, I know somebody commented the other day, hey, Dan, you're different tune than you were the other day. Exactly, because I change. I change with the markets. You know, if you thought, if the weatherman said it's going to be sunny tomorrow and you just took a bathing suit with you and it ended up raining, well, you're going to probably go back in and get an umbrella. I hope that made sense. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to keep going down with a false narrative. I'm going to make a quick change, and I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. So that's what I do. So here's my website. For those that don't know me in the mortgage realm, just are following me on the morning market update. My name is Dan Frio. I do the rate update every day. I'm a mortgage advisor, have been doing it for over 30 years. But here's what I want you to do. If you're in a forbearance, this is the biggest piece of today's video. Please share this video with anybody and everybody you possibly know. Give them my number. My number is 844-775-LOAN. It's 844-775-5626. My email is dfrio@preferredrate.com. And again, my website is therateupdate.com. You can click here, get a free quote. Basically, you're just going to put in some information. We're going to call you. If you don't want to call, email me. If you're like, you know what, I just want to get a mortgage. I need help. Click up here and apply. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance, you click right here. Purchase qualifier, rate checker for your refinance. So that is it for today. Guys, greatly appreciate you guys watching. Sorry, I'm not going to go away for another month or two, so hopefully the markets can come back, because every time I leave, it just crashes. Maybe it's my fault. So no, it's not. So God bless, guys. I'll see you today about 4 o'clock with the rate update and let you know how the rest of the day goes. Take care. See you then. Bye-bye.